Welcome to Honest Whispers Defect Inspection. On this video I'll be inspecting Wonder Woman, art scale 1/10 by Ivan Reis, exclusive version. DC series number 3, released by Iron Studios in February 2019. It is a limited edition, but it's not numbered. And the reason why I'm making this video is because I actually ordered 3 of these, which first off, Iron Studios charged me 3 times the shipping amount, 60 something. And basically, when I did the unboxing video, initially everything looked great and I'm happy with it. And when I opened the other 2 to inspect, well, the second one turned out very bad, and I'm very upset about it, and will definitely contact Iron Studios regarding this for an exchange, and if not, a return, because I got a balding Wonder Woman. And if you could see how much forehead space she has and the way her hair is so, I mean, I could just, like this one, the way it's supposed to look, looks perfectly fine. And then if you see the prototype example, of course, you don't even really see any forehead, because I guess, I don't know if it's supposed to be a perfect fit. But when you look at this, that is like somebody was skinning her hair off or something and just stopped once they started. It looks horrible. From the side, everything looks cool right here. And then when you look at this from the side, I mean, it just looks really bad. How much forehead, how much skin you're seeing above the tiara and between her hair. It's just, oh, here's even worse. So yeah, it looks like she's balding. She has a bald spot. If not, she has a wig on, and her jumping forward momentum is making her wig fall off or something. And here's the thing. 2 out of the 3 spears, which I thought initially this was normal, goes up and down. There's no... And the reason why I say that is because when you, I could probably see like a glue mark here or something. Well, either way, one of them, 1 out of 3 actually came with a non-detached spear. So 1 out of 3 actually is nice stiff. You can't even move it, which is actually in my shelf right now. But I wanted to compare these because, or at least document these, because these are the ones with the issues. And of course, the one with the balding head came with the messed up hook for her lasso. So this one, as you can see, it was like that. It was upside down when I opened the box. And technically it still works, but I mean, might as well have a problem like that if you have a balding Wonder Woman. Now this one, nice stiff, doesn't move, just the way it's supposed to be. So I don't know if this is gonna come off. I'm not even gonna pull it. I don't want Iron Studios to put me liable, because their customer service so far has been horrible. Now, these were, so I'm hoping customer service makes up for it, especially with this issue. The lasso on these, this one's actually cleaner. But now, when you could see, even on this, not perfect. And what I mean is, you'll start seeing some rough edges here. And you'll see it even more noticeable on one that's just really badly produced. Now, first off, you get some rough edges here. That's like molding issues. But looks like somebody didn't sanded down or anything like that before they painted it. And right here on, it's harder to see off camera, especially with this light reflection, but if I maybe zoom out, you might probably have to see it a little bit better, because you can see how the lasso has some molding issues here, like big rough edge sticking out. Jeez, Kev. So yeah, right there. So from more of a zoom out, again, you could see that lasso right there kind of thickening up right there in that area. And here, perfectly straight, smooth. And again, and what that is it's basically like this little piece, but like a long, thin. You know what, if I could maybe tilt this up. So yeah, you could, it's not flattened or anything, it's just like a long piece of fin that they forgot to shave down or cut off. No big, you know, that's not a huge thing, but then when you start looking at other sides and everything, almost looks pretty rough, like things been tethered, almost like it's like tethering off. So anyways, that's really minor. You know, if that was the only issue, I wouldn't even bother contacting customer service. But this balding, I mean, you gotta watch out. That's not the way it's supposed to be, obviously. Somebody, whoever was gluing the hairpiece onto the head, did not get good sleep, or it really isn't qualified to be working there. And these things, I don't know why they like come off like that. I did notice some inconsistency with the hand. So with this, you could see almost like a little piece broken off, like her fingers broken off. And this one, kind of not as much, but you could see a lot of messed up molding issues right there. It's like one of her fingers kind of severed, or it's splitting up, or it's even melted. And then the one that doesn't move, unfortunately I don't have it here on camera, but then I will eventually do a full review on it. It's completely solid. You don't even see that little hole or a gap. So I don't know if that's like part of the glue or something that they used, and this one just broke off. Which, well, either one, both of them did actually, kind of. But this, just upsetting. And as far as the base goes, just like the other ones, they're so like easily scratchable. Can't really see it here. Let me see if I could put it off, get something off the reflection. And then you get little dimples here and there. And not all of them have it too. It's like one would have it and then one doesn't have it. Unfortunately, it's not quite focusing onto the surface. Let me use the shoe or the boot. Focus off that. Well, either way, what I'm trying to point out is this is the type of material where if you, which I'm not gonna do, but if you scratch it, it'll kind of look like a wet line or something that won't go away, so you can't wipe it off or anything like that. But again, that's with all the other ones. I would figure Iron Studios would solve that issue by now. Now another issue I have, which I noticed off the bat on the unboxing, the stars on her butt are always offset. So this one is the worst one. If you look at the butt crack and then the two middle stars, it's ridiculous because one is, the bottom one's offset to the left, the top one's offset to the right. So if you line that up, now if you look at this one, not as bad. Well, keep that in mind. If you look at the butt crack line, as the line of symmetry. Now at least the top star is slightly on it, and then the bottom star is slightly on it from the other side. This one, top star is like pretty much off the butt crack line or the line of symmetry, but then the bottom star is actually pretty a little bit more accurate, not perfectly centered, but then when you look at the spacing of the other stars, like the middle two stars, I mean, it's just kind of off when you start looking at it, because you see more blue here on this border, a lot less blue here. This one, the two middle stars are a little bit better. They're a little bit more symmetrical. So, I mean, it's one of those pick your poisons. I mean, they're both bad in their own right. Other than that, they did add little blue tints on the back of the hair, which I think is almost like outsmarting yourself. Totally unnecessary. I think it looks a little bit worse like this, like as if she has highlights on. So not a flaw, but just wanted to point that out. So again, facial, not all of them are the same, of course. This one, eyes are a bit offset, not symmetrical. In other words, her left eye is higher and more off to the side than her right eye. This one, when you look at it, a little bit better on the symmetry. You could still see how her left eye is basically a little bit higher and slightly more to the left or to the side, but this one just seems a little bit more noticeable, especially at a certain angle. Actually, now this one actually looks a little bit better. This actually looks worse. I mean, I don't know. They're both not that bad, but at the same time not that great. So things I want to point out, definitely, like, at this point I'm hoping they could at least switch out the spear. If not, I might be able to tolerate that. And overall, whether if the stars are a little bit offset, I don't mind, but a balding Wonder Woman is a definite no-no. I'm not gonna tolerate that. If they give me a hard time, I'm gonna contact my credit card company. Hopefully they might be able to do something, especially with the $60 shipping charge for this. I ordered 3 in order to save some money on shipping as well, and here they go, charge me $60, which these are pretty light. So like at the most it's gonna be like I think it's like a 3-pound package. So it's almost like ridiculous how much they overcharge me. I could understand that it's a system error, so hopefully they could understand that and resolve that problem by doing a partial refund on my shipping and basically exchanging this balding Wonder Woman. So hopefully you didn't get unlucky like me and you got a better lucky, looking Wonder Woman. And what I'll do is I'll show you the one, because technically I bought 2 as an investment. I was going to keep it in storage and then probably, sell it when the price goes up after it's completely sold out. But then there's one that I definitely will keep probably for the rest of my life, and that is this one. And this one for me, out of the 3, just turned out to be the best looking one overall. As you can see, even the stars, it's not perfect, but it is most symmetrical, most evenly spaced out looking one. Her hair, forehead, tiara proportion looks perfectly fine. Doesn't look like she's balding. Eyes, slightly similar issues, but then a little bit more symmetrical. At least the size of her eyes are more similar. And at least on this one, the lasso, perfectly clean. And I did mention one of the 3 spears doesn't move. And then of course this one, the hook, on her belt for her lasso. Doesn't move, perfectly fine, so no issues here. The only issue on this is some minor scratches, like I mentioned, on the base, and there is like a little I think there's like a little dimple on this one in the middle, but can't quite see it. Either way, don't care too much about the base. I mean, I do wish everything was perfectly, made, but in this case, I'll take what I can. I didn't realize there were so many little flaws. I did notice even on her chest right here, there's like a slight issue you might want to look out for. This one, it's slightly bent and out of shape. The other ones are actually a little bit more straight, flat, and pointy. So, but because it's small, not an issue. And for me, right now, the most important thing is, at least from what I've seen, the tiara, and of course, the symmetry of the stars. And that's pretty much it. And of course, the lasso and the spear. So definitely look out for that if you're planning on buying this, or if you already bought this. I'm just letting you know, this spear, initially I thought it was supposed to move, but when I opened the other one and found out one of the spears was nice, stiff, didn't move, then I realized, yeah, that's not the way it's supposed to be. So hopefully Iron Studios does what's right and make things right and replaces either the parts or the entire figure itself. Well, there you have it. Thank you for watching. Until next time, continue reading the King James Version Bible, eat your vitamin C, and inspect your collectibles carefully, especially before the return policy time limit goes out.